Welcome to Moments with Vanessa TV, a platform that inspires conversations around our emotional and mental well being. Be inspired.
Okay, I think Esther is here now. Welcome, Favy. Okay, welcome, Esther.
I'm here finally.
You're welcome.
Cha.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. So welcome, Favy. Hi, okay, welcome, Lillian Nislos. You're welcome. I can
Yeah.
see everyone joining. So please quickly tell us where you're listening from on the comment section. Tell us where you're listening from in the comment section. We'd like to know you better and would like to know where you're listening from. So
Exactly.
so we have to start now. My name is Vanessa Nadi. So that's the Vanessa part of the gist with Vanessa and Esther. So I'm the convener of Moments with Vanessa, a platform a platform where people walk through the journey of emotional and mental well-being. Everything that has to do with your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, we inspire conversations around it. We have several other programs under Moments with Vanessa, of which one of them is the Gist with Vanessa and Esther. It is my belief that, for you to even have a good emotional and mental well-being, your relationship, your marriage, whatever, needs to be in a good place. And when we talk about relationship, it's not just about the opposite sex. It could also be about the same sex. So every second Sunday of the month, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, I and Esther will be here talking about all things relationship, all things marriage. So I'll
Yes.
give the floor to Esther now to introduce herself.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Good to see you once again.
Yeah.
All our friends that are joining from different parts of the world, from
Yes.
Nigeria and other parts of Nigeria. Good to see you all. My name is Ijoma Esther Namdi. I'm a US certified relationship slash marriage master coach. And I'm also the founder of Ladies Let's Talk International. Ladies Let's Talk International is a platform where women come together to share personal experiences, encourage each other, counsel each other on relationship slash marriage related issues. I am also the editor in chief of Mommy and I magazine. I'm the founder of Mommy and I Media. And Mommy and I specifically is a platform that reaches out to mothers, mothers telling them about how they can involve the principles of intentional parenting in raising their children. And Ladies Let's Talk is an arm of Mommy and I Media, more like our CSR, you know. So I'm happy to be here on Gist with Vanessa and Esther. I always look forward to being here every second Sunday of every month.
Okay, we are so excited to be here, for the second episode of the Gist with Esther and Vanessa. Now,
Yes.
okay, we'll go into the business of the day. Today, just as you all know, we are discussing, is your relationship toxic? Is your relationship toxic? That's a question. A lot of times people, when people talk about being in abusive relationships or, abusive whatever, or toxic friendships, be it opposite sex, be it same sex, be it marriage, whatever.
Yeah.
Most times when it falls into abuse and people are speaking out, a lot of times people will say, why didn't you see the signs? You should have seen the signs. You should have seen the signs. The truth is that there must have been signs. But, in life, perspective matters. How
Yeah.
does the person stand? Someone can be in a toxic relationship and the person will not know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something I've come to understand. Because there was a time I was having a conversation with someone. The person was telling me that's a relationship of opposite sex. And I'm like, this is a toxic relationship. She's like, no, like, we was beginning to go back and forth. And I paused and I realized that this person actually has not realized that there is a thin line between normal and toxic. Take
Yeah.
for instance, I will still explain this later much better in within the conversation. But take for instance jealousy when it has to do with opposite sex. Of course, we know that when you love someone, when you're emotionally invested in someone, you will be jealous to an extent when the person starts crossing some boundaries with the opposite sex. But there's
Yeah.
a thin line between healthy jealousy and unhealthy jealousy. There's
Exactly. And that's where most people miss it.
Yes, healthy jealousies. Of course, there should be boundaries when you're emotionally invested in someone. There should be boundaries between the person and the opposite sex,
Yes.
so that it doesn't cross the line. But there's a problem, okay, of which can emanate healthy jealousy when the person you're in a relationship with begins to cross those boundaries. That will emanate healthy jealousy. But there's an unhealthy jealousy, like you cannot talk to an opposite. You cannot have friends with an opposite sex. You can't, as there's always this form of possessiveness. You can't go out. You can't do this. If a person sees you talking with an opposite sex, there's this anger. Yes, that starts emanating. And the funny thing is that some people don't actually see when there is unhealthy jealousy. So I was trying to tell this lady that this has caused healthy jealousy to unhealthy jealousy, but she didn't get it. She just understood it as this is normal, and I had to pause for a while, and I realized that she doesn't know that this is toxic. So
Yeah.
part of it. This is why we're having this conversation today. So I want to hand over to Esther to share some things on toxic relationships.
Okay. Okay, before I continue, let me read what Lillian wrote. Lillian said jealousy is a modern witchcraft.
Oh my God.
Jealousy is
Jealousy.
witchcraft.
No, yeah, seriously. But there is healthy one. No, when you're emotionally invested in someone and the person starts crossing boundary, of course you feel a certain way. That is
You know,
healthy jealousy.
Bible says that God is a jealous God.
Yeah. Just
And
imagine.
that's the nature of God. So somehow, even animals are jealous.
Of course.
Even animals. There was
Of
this
course.
documentary I watched about a dog that in the neighborhood, a neighbor had a dog, and the other dog in the neighbor's house. Do you get? Once
Yes.
in a while they meet, they play together, the two dogs. Then
Yeah.
suddenly the third neighbor bought her own dog. You get? And
Mm.
one of the dogs now saw the new dog playing with the friend. Do you understand? Like, you need to see the expression.
Ah, the other one has come to take his friend away. So there is healthy jealousy, Lillian. There is.
You
But
know,
yeah.
but we why we are having this conversation today is for you to know if you are in a toxic relationship or not, for our viewers, because like Vanessa rightly said, there is a thin line between healthy jealousy and unhealthy jealousy.
Jealousy.
For instance, there was something I shared on Facebook about a lady that said she had to quit her job. She was
Okay.
engaged to a guy.
Yeah.
The guy said no, that he's no longer comfortable having her work in that particular environment because there are male colleagues. The male colleagues outnumber the female.
Can
So
you imagine?
kept nagging till she had to quit that job.
Yeah.
Only for a month later for the guy to engage another lady.
Wow.
Yes, somebody
Wow.
posted it on Twitter, it started going viral and all. But that's her personal experience. And when
Yeah.
he shared that, I also shared my personal story about a guy that I was engaged to years ago, and I intended publishing one of my books then.
Yeah.
And he told me, no, 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 don't publish your book in your name. Very soon we'll be getting married, and I want
Mm.
you to answer to bear my name as your surname, and all that. And in my mind, I'm like, if I publish my book now and we still get married later, it won't change anything, you get, but
Exactly.
he insisted. And as at that time, with my level of knowledge at that time, I didn't see it as anything. That was how I paused that book. And Vanessa, do you know till today I've not published that book?
Hi. Wow.
These are some of the things that jealousy causes.
Yes,
And
it's true.
in that period, you see it as love. You see it as, this person loved me so much. This person loves me so much. That's why he is asking me to quit my job, and because he doesn't want anybody to snatch him away from me and all that. But it's not supposed to be.
Exactly.
It's not supposed to be. The Bible says that perfect love casted out fear.
It's true.
Cast out fear. When you are in a relationship with someone, you are not supposed to be walking on eggshells.
True.
Being overly careful about everything, which leads us to our main focus today. What are the signs of toxic relationship? What are the red flags? What are the things that we should be looking out for in a toxic
Exactly.
relationship? So, Vanessa, I will give you the platform now. Tell us some, and then I can continue from.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
first of all, sorry. I'm trying to pin the okay. First of all, I'll talk about okay, just as you know, we've already given an introduction
Yes.
into the topic for you to understand what we're actually talking about. We're actually trying to, help people understand if they are in a toxic relationship. But before I go ahead, I would like to also let us know that along the line, if you like to come on live and share your own perspective on this topic, just let us know. We'll put you up live to join us. You come on live and share your own perspective or possibly
Yes.
experience being in a toxic relationship. Okay, first of all, some of the signs are: number one, someone that keeps scorecards, someone that keeps history. I call it the scorecard keeper, the relationship scorecard keeper. Remember, this conversation cuts across opposite sex and same
Yes.
sex,
Both
because
male and female.
yes, because there was a time I've actually experienced same sex toxic friendship, like a female friend, like normal, friends. It all of a sudden it starts becoming toxic. You lose your peace because you're trying so hard to make the person happy. So this conversation cuts across both opposite sex and same sex friendship. So I
Yes.
call it the relationship scorecard keeper. Now, how do you how do I mean what do I mean by relationship scorecard keeper? I mean someone that when there's an issue, the person reminds you of what you did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. There's always this conversation about, is this not what you did 5 years ago? Oh no, things are not supposed to be that way. Things are not supposed to be that way. In my own relationship, in my marriage, is in such a way that when something is gone, it's gone. There's no need of trying to, remind the person all the time. Then
Yes.
yeah, it could be okay if you remind maybe what happened last week, maybe because you want to give an example. But like
Example.
talking about 5 years ago, 2 years ago, this is what you did when, it has a way of, especially if the person has been making conscious effort to become better at that thing, and you keep taking
Yes.
the person back to where the person, is coming from. It's not good. So
And
those who
also, it happens every time. It becomes really annoying.
Yes, it becomes really, really annoying. So, relationship scorecard keepers is a no. It can be quite discomforting. It can be quite discomforting, and to an extent, it could be an indicator too. Then we also have those who love being to those who exhibit passive aggression.
Aggression.
Last month when we talked about communication in relationships, I talked about passive aggression. People who would rather not communicate their feelings. How are you feeling? They are quiet. In fact, they prefer to keep malice. They prefer to give the cold treatment. It's not fair. It affects the next person, especially if the next person is someone who loves to talk about issues, who loves
Yeah.
to, be diplomatic about issues, and all of a
The
sudden
person
you're
is
just
expensive.
yes, all of a sudden you're blanking the person out. All of a sudden you're not talking to the person is talking to you, you're just quiet, and it happens consistently. That I don't know about any other person, but that alone can really, 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 upset me, because I'm the kind of person that loves to talk about things.
Things.
When I offend you, I like to know, what have I done to you? Can we talk about
Exactly.
it? Yeah. But when you're asking the person is not saying anything, the person is just giving you cold shoulder, and it happens consecutively. If it's the same sex normal friendships, I will give you space at least for a while, because that can be emotionally draining. It can be exerting, and that is one of the characteristics of toxic relationships, because
Yes.
you're not encouraging communication between the two parties. If it's a relationship, if it's marriage, talk about it. I always last in our first episode, I talked about the importance of talking about everything and anything. Passive
Yes.
aggression does not help. It does not solve any problem. Having cold what do you call it? Cold treatment towards the next person. It does not solve anything. Then the third one I'll talk
Like
about.
complicate issues.
Yes, yes. The third one I also want to talk about is those who hold their partners on hostage, or rather they call it always holding the relationship hostage. When the person does something, the first thing you will say, if you mess up, I'll leave this marriage, I'll send you a divorce paper, I will leave this relationship, I will do this. Like, the person is always at the edge, especially maybe for someone who is coming from a family where divorce is not talked about, it is unheard of, and the person gets married, and the only thing, because you have this information or you have this knowledge, if the person offends you, the first thing you're going to say is, if you mess up, I'll divorce you. If you mess up, I'll leave this marriage, I'll leave this relationship. I've had someone very close to me that I've had a friend that this thing happens to, and it's not funny. Every single time there's a threat of divorce, there's a threat of leaving her and all that, and it messes with her mind, because she's always on the edge. She's always too careful. What will she do? What will she not do? But relationships and marriages are supposed to be enjoyed, not endured. Whenever someone is doing that kind of thing, it makes you scared. It takes away the joy and happiness that comes with that relationship, that marriage. You just always be on the edge, trying to please the
Because
person.
you always have panic
Yeah, of
attacks.
course. And in that situation, you end up losing yourself. You end up losing your essence, who you are. Then the fourth one I'll talk about before I hand over to Esther is blaming the next person, blaming your partner, your friend, for your own emotions. I talked about this last in our first episode, during when we discussed communication in relationships. I talked about that it's very important to communicate your emotions to your partner. Okay, for example, you're in a relationship or you're married. Talk about everything and anything, even to the as little as, what should the person do to you when you're angry? How should the person respond to you when you're angry? What should the person say to you when you're angry to calm you down? Things as little as that a lot of people do not communicate with their partners, do not communicate with their friends. So when you're bottling it all up, I've had a conversation with someone recently. What she's telling me is that he should have known. Why shouldn't he know? She will leave her matrimonial room and move into another room for months, for weeks. She and her husband are not speaking to each other. And I'm telling her this is foolishness, because you're ruining your home. You're opening the door wide open for the devil to come and take the throne, come and sit and balance in your home. You don't do that. I told her, communicate. I gave an example with my own marriage. Sometimes you just sit down and believe the person should know. When I realize that doesn't know, and sometimes when what my husband is thinking, I don't know. We decided to be talking about it.
That's the best.
Yeah, in as for a woman, when a gesture is meted towards you, it makes you feel special. Even for a man, it makes him feel special. But the truth is that you might not feel special that time you talked about it. But subsequently, the person knows now, and the person does it the next time, the next 2 times, the next 3 times. You feel special those times because you've communicated what you want. So don't ever assume, just as I said last episode, expectation is a killer. Don't sit down there and be saying he's supposed to know, she should know. Why wouldn't a normal human being know? That is the statement I keep hearing from people. Why shouldn't a normal human being know that he should do this? Why shouldn't somebody...
The Holy Spirit that will do everything.
Because the truth is that you both, whether it's your friend or your relationship or your marriage, or you both are from different backgrounds. You are raised by 2 totally different sets of parents. So what he or she knows is different from what you know. So learn to communicate. Learn to communicate. Open your mouth and communicate. Not whenever you're feeling a certain way, you're blaming the next person about you're blaming the next person for your emotion. Just like this example I gave. She keeps blaming her husband for how she's feeling. But when I was able to break these things down, I was able to explain to her that she actually has a lot of growing up to do and a lot of role to play in taking responsibility for her home. She's blaming her husband for how she's feeling, for how she's, when a lot of things are spoiling because she is not communicating her emotions. She just filled with expectations in her head, and it's killing and destroying her home. And paraventure now, this man, out of the whole 2 weeks not speaking to each other, doing your things, he falls into another person, or she is tempted to having a relationship with another man. This is just the end of the marriage. And when people want to talk about, okay, what caused the breakdown of this marriage now, you can't say, because it was little build-ups. You now start looking for things to hold on to say he did not do. But these are little things that would have been solved with communication. I'll stop here now and give Esther the floor.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you. You made wonderful points. This issue is very deep.
Exactly.
And anybody that is following this program, at the end of the program, the person will really get value, because we are discussing is something that will help, especially singles.
Exactly.
Preparing for marriage. It will help you not to marry the wrong person. The worst thing that can happen to a woman is to get married to a man that is toxic.
Exactly.
Or a toxic marriage. It's something that I'm going to wish for an enemy. That's why we're discussing these signs. Vanessa has mentioned 4. I'll continue with the 5th one, signs of toxic relationship. Things that when you see, you will know, you will tell yourself, okay, it's like this is a toxic relationship. It's like this is a sign. This is a red flag. And the 5th one is being in a relationship where your partner is extremely controlling. Having an extremely controlling partner. Now, if you're in a relationship with someone, truth be told, the person must have some level of control in the relationship.
Definitely.
It's normal. There is healthy control. For instance, if you are dating someone or if you are engaged to someone, there are some level of control the person should have, because the person is in a relationship with you. And relationship is all about accountability. You should
Exactly.
each other, yes. But now we are talking about unhealthy or extreme control. Someone that wants to control everything about your life. In fact, it
Ex-
is possible for the person to control your breath, how you breathe, how you inhale yourself. The person will do it. You know, you
Yeah.
see some people when you are engaged to them or you are in a relationship with them, they will
Yeah.
tell you wherever, whatever you are doing at any point, tell me
Yeah.
before you do it. You know, somebody will look at it and feel it is okay.
Yes.
When it is extreme, it is not okay because there are things that come up spontaneously. There are things that you didn't even know will happen. For instance, let's say you are leaving the house and you told your fiance or your husband, okay, I want to go to Nkechi's house. I want to visit Nkechi, for instance. But as you were heading to visit Nkechi, you now saw a supermarket and discovered that, oh, I need to buy something. Maybe there is no more tissue in the house, or maybe there is no more some this thing, detergent in the house, and you decided to storm into a supermarket to get those things. This thing came without you envisaging it.
Of course.
Yes, it came without you thinking about it. You've already told your partner that you are going to Nkechi's house, but this came up. You understand? Now, a controlling partner will be very angry that you didn't even inform him when you want to stop by the
Exactly.
supermarket to buy something.
Mm.
Controlling partners, they don't understand that there are exceptions to certain things. They want to know your movement. I once had a friend. We were discussing marriage. Ah, God. Vanessa, I met people. I met people, different characters. Oh, God. The guy, I was about to take on a job. I went for interview and I did massively well. And I told him, I've gone for this interview and I did well and all that. And the job is very okay. I'll be resuming work so and so time. He told me that, did I tell the person that wants to employ me about him?
Uh-uh.
Vanessa, I've not heard that kind of thing on my, that was my first time. Like, I said, how? He said, did you tell the person that you have a fiance? No, this person, I've not even accepted to marry him. Oh. We are still talking, we are still trying to know, will this thing work out or it will not work out? Do you get?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, now I'm supposed to tell the man about him. Tell the person that wants to employ me that I have a fiance and, let him talk to the man on phone. I said,
Wow.
it sounds like, I said, for what? Why will you speak with him? He said, no, he needs to, that I should involve him in everything that I'm doing. This is how he was vibrating. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, I said, you better not chance. It cannot work with you on this person.
Wow.
Because he practically wants to control everything about me. He will tell you, okay, there were some programs that was booked that within that period, I was to travel and he was like, okay, did you tell them the amount you charge? And I'm like, I don't present these things first, in as much as it's good to discuss
Yeah.
charges with people, but there are some kind of people you will have a relationship with.
Yeah.
You present money first when
Yes.
you book you for program. There are exceptions to these things.
Exactly.
So I now say the kind of relationship I have with this person is such that I can't present money first. There is no way at the end of the program I will not go home with my honorarium. But then it shouldn't come first. He said, no, 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 no. No, in fact, give me the number. Let me go. In fact, I will be your manager. And I'm like, oh God. But I have to run, no. Life. I said, no, this kind of person, before you know it, he started asking me how much did I make in a month. I said, okay, in a month I make so and so. He said, okay, he wants to know everything I do in a month. How much did I make from my programs? How much from my company? How much from other things I'm doing, my ghostwriting? How much? I said, blood of Jesus, this is terrible. I had to move on because Lillian is laughing at me. Lillian, that's wrong in my life. But someone else will see it as love. He's
Yeah,
caring, he's excessively caring. But no, that's not
exactly.
it. You
And
know,
there's a way that would have even been communicated. You even be the one that would just say it on your own, not in that manner,
God
because
bless.
that was utterly controlling.
Now that I'm married, my husband knows everything
Of
about me.
course,
Without him even asking, I opened up myself.
of course,
But this person was coming on too strongly and it's scary. Having that kind of person as a life partner will be disastrous.
exactly.
You know, you already want to be my manager. Did I tell you? As in, oh my God. So that's the fifth one. The sixth one we'll be looking at is lack of trust. If you're in a relationship with a guy that doesn't trust you, that relationship will definitely hit the rocks. If not now, but later.
Later.
Because marriage is too long a journey for you to embark on such a journey with a man that doesn't trust you.
Exactly.
If he sees you talking with another man on phone, he automatically assumes that you are dating the person. There
Exactly.
was a lady that called me a certain time and when she was complaining, she has been in a relationship with this guy for 6 years. But one issue they're always having is the issue of trust. The guy will be like, no, 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 I didn't meet you a virgin. So anything, if you tell me you are going to this place, I need to be sure you are really, really going there. Women are not to be trusted. And initially started as a joke. It started as, I want to be possessive. I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want any man to take you away from me. But a point came, it became toxic. You understand? To the extent
Yeah.
that if the lady wants to go to a video, he has to drop her in the church to make sure that she actually dropped in that church.
Wow.
Another person will see it as, the guy loves me. He makes effort to drop me. But no, when it becomes too much, it is toxic. It's not
Ex-
nice. Because a
Exactly.
woman that still wants to mess around will still mess around. You can drop her off in church. Immediately you leave, she will go to where she wants to go.
Of course, that's true.
So why are you killing yourself? People are just having hypertension over something that is unnecessary.
I'm telling you.
Never, there is no way you can track a human being, no matter
Exactly.
what.
That's
You
true.
cannot track. Even people that want to track someone with a machine, people are now outsmarting them. You know,
Exactly.
now,
Seriously.
online you will see some apps that will tell you how to know if your partner is cheating. I don't want to mention the name of the app. That's not what I'm advertising. But you know, stuff like that.
Yes.
Necessary. Any relationship that lacks trust will hit the rocks.
Exactly.
Last,
Because
because a lot of things will happen in your marriage. A lot. There will be times that your partner might even travel and spend months. You know, there are people that are married and maybe the guy is abroad while the wife is back in the country. You know, if you are in a relationship like that and there is no trust, you find out that every time you'll be calling your wife on video call. Where are you? Oh yeah, go to video. Go to video. See, what are you doing? Go,
you
go.
said give the person you're with the phone.
You understand? That's crazy. That's
Serious.
crazy. I don't think any lady should allow any man or woman because it will be both ways. A guy
Yes,
can do this and a lady can do this. I
of course.
have a friend that once told me that she wants to put a GPS on the husband's car. so he can track where he's
Wow.
going and all that. I said, babe, have you degenerated to this?
Seriously.
Have you degenerated to this? To the
Hmm.
extent you want to start monitoring a man. That means, are you done with your work? Are you done with your work in office? Are you done with your life purpose on earth? And monitoring your husband is what
Is
you now
remaining.
something. Not to discourage her. I told her something. I said, see, the only although it might sound extreme, but I told her this. I said the only woman that knows where her husband is 247 is a widow.
Yes.
That's what I said. The only woman that knows where her husband is 247 is a widow. And she was shocked when she heard that. She said, what do I mean? I said, it may sound extreme. That doesn't mean you won't know your husband's whereabouts. Do you get? But things happen. Your husband might want
Exactly.
to go buy something, and along the line, he saw something else he needs and decided to buy.
To go for it.
You want to track him, you will be killing yourself.
That's true.
One that wants to be faithful to you will be faithful to you because of his love for God, because of her love for God, not because of you.
Exactly.
So doing all those things is unnecessary. Another sign of toxic relationship is a relationship that is loaded with negativity. So much negativity. There is nothing that the partner does in the relationship that is good. A woman told me something some months ago. I also shared it in a program I did with Timfa. The woman said every time the husband compares her to trash. There was a time that she just forgot some things in the drawer. She finished eating and she forgot it in the drawer because she was breastfeeding her 5 months baby in the midnight. The husband saw it in the morning and was like, look at where you kept this thing. You act like trash. In fact, you are trash because it's trash that litters. Trash
Yeah.
is something that you can put littered something into. That she is like trash. And the woman felt so bad. How can you use such language on me? How? You see some men telling their partner that, do you think you are beautiful? I'm finer than you. I'm finer. How many ladies that are dying for me? Just say, let me manage you. I'm telling you, some guys say that. One told me that her guy told her, do you know that in the whole of Nigeria, men like me are not up to 3? So it's a privilege for me to be dating you. And she began to see herself that way. She began to see herself as not deserving of the guy. Do you get? That
Yeah.
guy is actually a big fish that she caught. And all these things program someone psychologically. It makes you
Of
start.
course.
It makes you not know your rights anymore. It
True.
makes you take rubbish because you've been undervalued. You
That's true.
understand? I will go over to I will say the last one before I hand over to Vanessa. Continuous disrespect. A relationship where you and your family is always disrespected at every slightest issue.
Yes.
Toxic. You see some men, maybe a man that is in a relationship with a young lady and her family is not well to do, or her parents is not well to do, or even some married men do this. They will remind you of your generation, how hungry you were before they came and picked you up. The life you are enjoying now, if not for me, would you have enjoyed it? Your family, there was one that had issue with her husband. She's presently divorced, and she said her husband would tell her, all this money you are enjoying, did you even near it? Did you even come close to it while in your father's house? If I saw your family as a whole, I can buy your family as a whole. They are not up to my money. I have so much. You keep reminding the girl of her background. Disrespect her, disrespect her parents, disrespect her siblings. When they come visiting you, remind her, your siblings, every time before you know, they will say they need this one. They are coming to beg money. They are not coming to visit. Let them just say the truth. They are coming to beg me money. Such people are disrespectful.
Of
You-
course.
And if, as a single lady, you can discover these signs as a single and take action, which action do you need to take? Breaking off that relationship, break out. It will help you a lot. Instead
And
of instead of letting things slide, that when you now marry the person, you start complaining. It gets me angry sometimes. Some people, they will say some of these things, and
yeah.
anyway,
But
you
just as I said in the beginning, there are some people who find themselves in toxic relationships, but they do not know that they are in toxic relationship, and it's as a result of their own perspective of what is
yeah,
going on. Some people see those actions as love, but forgetting that there's a thin line between the healthy one and the unhealthy one. Using the jealousy I talked about as an example.
yes,
Hi.
you know, some people, like you said, are ignorant of these things. They
Yes.
don't know it. Do you get? But
Yeah.
some know these things. They know. Do you understand? They know
Yeah.
that this is not supposed to be. You can imagine a guy telling you're dating a guy, because a guy told me, he told his girlfriend, he said, I can never be faithful to you. One
Wow.
woman do me.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I can never be faithful to you. I no fit do one woman. It's not possible. And the girl still cooks, still loves him. The girl is now trying to outshine the other ladies to love him more than other women so that he will marry her.
And in the process, she'll be hurting herself.
Understand?
In the
And when
process,
you
she'll be
eventually
hurting
marry
herself.
the man tomorrow, you start complaining that he's cheating. When this man has made himself clear, guys have a way of stating what they want early in the relationship. It's we ladies that kind of pretend. A guy will tell you, this is what I want from this relationship. Sometimes
Exactly.
you see, in this marriage, my mama come first before you. My
Yeah.
they will
Of,
tell you.
of
But
course.
some will tell you, see, in this marriage, sometimes I no go come back house chop o.
Then still standing on this one that you just mentioned now. There's
Yes.
some just like this thing about the kind of woman you are, your life purpose, your life ambition. Some men make it clear at the beginning, and I want to marry a housewife, someone that will be at home and take care of my kids. Some men make it clear that they want women who at least can sacrifice the rearing time, like when these kids are still growing,
Bless you.
or do a home business while taking care of the children. Some men will make it clear that they want average women that will go to work and come back, 8 to 5. Some men want high flying women, the likes of Okonjiwala, the likes of these women who are high flying. Now it's left for you as a woman to know where you belong, so that you actually have it clear when you're getting married, to actually know the kind of man you marry. I
You
have
know,
always,
when I was pointing out this issue, I said,
yeah,
ladies get women, we need to get to that point where we know what we want.
exactly.
Let me give
Because,
you an instance. When
go
I
on.
was single, I told some of my friends, in fact, my friends, by the time they watch this, they will know that I always tell them this. I told them, a guy that smokes, no matter how
Yeah.
much you have, the day I see cigarette on the guy's hand, is no more. Secondly, any guy that drinks,
Yes.
any guy that gets drunk, that drinks, is a no-no. I eventually now saw you womanizing. It's a different thing that maybe I didn't know you womanizing.
Yes,
And I got my, but eventually, if I ever see you are a womanizer before marriage.
it's a deal breaker.
So
Yeah.
when I said these things, I said I want to marry a true born again. They were like, IJ, it be like say you know what Mario. Which man do you think will have all these qualities? I said this is what I want. When I was 18 years old, I met a guy that I really, really liked. I really liked his personality and he really loves me too. He was the first guy that baked a birthday cake for me while growing up. But he told me,
Yeah.
he said that before he gets married to me, I must get pregnant for him.
That can be a deal breaker too.
And about what they need, they
Of
don't.
course. Of course.
Tell you this is what I want. So it's not left for you. Do you want or you don't want? But
Of course.
when he told me that, I said, get pregnant for you. It's not possible. That is how we will get married.
Wow.
I told him, I said, no, 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 no. And that was how I zeroed my mind from him. We became
Yes.
friends. Because I know I can't subscribe to his terms.
Of
There was
course.
another guy that told one of my friends shared something with me. Someone that they were discussing marriage, and the guy told her, I want to marry a woman that can stay with my mother and help her in the farm. This is a working class girl. And the girl said she can't try it.
Of
I
course.
told her, my dear, I love your stance. Because
Yeah.
a woman will be like, no problem, no problem.
No, no, but in this regard though,
Man,
yes,
complaining.
it's true. In your bid to please the man.
Months
Of
at
course.
the initial stages.
Of course. Yeah, in this regard now, with this your friend now, it's good that that conversation happened. A lot of women and a lot of couples did not have this conversation before entering marriage.
Yeah.
For this man now, there's a woman out there for him that would not mind staying with the mother.
Yes.
Have this conversation. If you're listening to me right now, have this conversation with whoever you're in a relationship with or whoever you be getting married to. It's very, very important. I've always seen myself as a high flying woman, and it was one of the things I always put forward because I wouldn't want more when I'm where everywhere. The man will pick up, and I married a man that wants me to be flying. In fact, he's my highest motivator on earth to keep moving. So imagine if I marry a man that wants me to just sit down at home. There will be a problem. So that is something I discovered quite early, and it was one of the things I talked about before we got married. I met a lot of people. A lot of people came for my hand in marriage, but I turned down a lot of people because of the signs I saw in
Husband
them.
is not easy.
How controlling they were going to be of me, and I didn't want that. So it's left for you to have this conversation. I have someone that has once confided in me. She got married to this man while she was still in school, while she was still in university. So she had not discovered herself well, and they got married. So this conversation did not take place. Now, how many years down the line? I think they've had 2 kids or so. She's now beginning to attend events. Then she always reach out to me, please invite me for programs and all that. She now attends events, and she's beginning to discover herself. She's beginning to now embark on this self-discovery journey, and she's now discovering who she is. But the problem now is that the man wants a woman that can at least sacrifice this child rearing period to take care of the kids. It's no longer fitting into the vision of the self-discovery the woman is having, because she's discovering new things about herself, and she now wants to do a lot of things and all that. And the man is reminding her that this is not the vision. And the truth is that that conversation did not take place. So, and that was because she had not yet discovered who she was. So please try and have this soul search. What kind of woman do you think you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of woman you just go to work 8 to 5, you come back home? Do you want to be the kind of woman that sacrifices the child rearing stage? You want to be the kind of woman that will take care of that? You just want to be at home, have your businesses from home? You know, what kind of woman my own mother was kind of woman that sacrificed child rearing stage. I know my youngest brother, our last born, was up to 4 or 5 before my mom went back to work. She was working, before, why she had me, the early years when she had me being the first. But I think 2 years down the line, she quit the job and decided on her own, without my father cajoling her. I know that I've actually asked them. She decided on her own. She stayed back at home. She stayed at home. She had 4 of us. She took care of us. Immediately my brother turned 5, she got a job, and she's still working till now. So it's a matter of having that conversation and a personal choice.
Yes.
And that's where this comparison comes in. For your husband is comparing with another person's wife, or you're comparing your husband with another person's husband. No two marriages are the same. Find out your own uniqueness. Find out your own uniqueness. If you see a woman that is a high flyer, she's always traveling, there are some things some systems she might have put in place to make things work in her home, because that is how she's wired to be. You don't just have
Oh, you said there was a time I asked one of these leading women, an interview with her, and I asked her, you are the type of woman that travel a lot. So how do you strike a balance, between work, your vision, your children? And she said, one, she has her mom with her.
Yes.
You understand? She has her mom constantly by her side. So even if she travels to Germany, wherever, the mom is there to take care of her.
Most times I've been close to some of these women, and once you ask them, they've set up a system already that is helping them run the home. So it's a total sin, or totally wrong, for you to compare a high flying woman to a woman who have decided to stay at home. All of them are unique and wonderful in their own ways. Or a woman who has decided to sacrifice the child rearing years to take care of their kids. Comparing these 3 sets of women is utterly wrong. Because they are wired different. So it's left for the woman and the husband to have that conversation and build and create systems that can work for their own, their own home and their own family. So, okay, I don't know. Are you? Okay, go on.
I wanted to add something. As you're talking, a whole lot of things is coming. It's flooding.
I know this will be a topic for us in this, because I noticed we've diverted a little. This has to be a topic in this our conversation.
And another thing, this asking a man certain questions before marriage, it helps a lot.
Of course, it does.
It helps a lot. I remember when I was courting my husband, we didn't court for long. I met my husband November. By February, we've already done, by January, we've started our marriage classes. You can imagine. By we've done our trad, and by April, we are married. So, but it was meaningful courting, because we asked each other a lot of questions. I remember asking my husband over 50 questions, because I must ask. I don't like leaving things to imagination or assume. If something comes to me, I will ask to know what to say. I asked him a lot of questions, because I know myself. I'm ambitious. I'm ambitious. I'm this kind of person that always have ideas, very wonderful ideas. But then I need a man that will help me sieve those ideas, so that I won't myself doing too many things at the same time. I needed someone that would just guide me, so that anyone I decide on doing, I have to kind of pay more attention. You understand? And
of course.
I didn't need somebody that will be in a competition with me, or someone I will be in a competition with him. Because that's another thing about toxic relationship. One of the signs of toxic relationship, competition. A situation where two partners are competing, maybe
Of course.
competing for fame, competing for popularity, competing. My husband told me something. My husband, he was the one that told me, he said, see, babe, I know your kind of person. I met you in a program and I've been following you up. I know your kind of person. You are very ambitious. And I am ready to support you. I am ready to walk behind the scene. He was talking, I was like this. He said, I don't like being out there. My husband is not this kind of person that lies. All these things I do. He's not that kind of person. He's not even a kind of social media kind of person. But he said,
Yes,
I want you to be there while I encourage and support you behind the scene for you
of
to
course.
remain. You understand? Immediately he said that, I said, Jesus, this is it. This is what I've been looking for all my life. Because sometimes you find some people, maybe the wife is a high flyer, the husband is a high flyer, and before you know it, the relationship tends towards toxicity because both of them are struggling to be seen. Nobody wants to sacrifice. Nobody wants to give up anything for anybody. Both of them want, do you understand? There is this kind of tussle, and
Yes.
it's not healthy because the children will be the ones suffering it at the end
Suffering.
of the day. When two
Suffering.
are fighting, the grass suffers. So
Suffer, exactly.
we really, really need to be careful and
Yeah,
watch
that's true.
us, listening to us. They need to watch out for these signs.
These red flags, of course.
Seeds. These seeds.
Okay.
And if
Okay. All right.
not ready to make amends or maybe turn a new leaf or improve, please quit. A better
Okay.
come.
Okay. All right. I think before we go ahead to the next talking about how to, move in, make as in transform or actually remedy toxic relationships as if it actually can be remedied. Well, okay, let's just take some of the comments. Okay, Lillian, our most interactive. She said she had to go to breastfeed her baby.
Oh,
Okay, but she was thanking us so much. She said she really enjoys the session, that a lot of gist are here in this package, and she's really enjoying the topic, the conversation. So she
yeah.
left. Okay, we also had some new people, Nana, Clarice, Fisio. So at this point, before we go ahead, we would like to give out some of our gifts, our cash gifts. So if you're here live with us, just drop your phone number. The first four people who will drop their phone number would we actually,
Lillian is gone. I would have really, I wish she's among
yeah.
the
So
people that are following us now, but it's fine.
yeah, the first four people who drop their number would win cash gifts from us. And then, just as we said at the beginning, if you would like to join us, join the live session to share your own views and your own perspective, we don't mind adding you to this live to actually contribute. So, if you'd like to join, just let me know. I'll add you up. And you can, speak. Let's share with us your own perspective, your own views on toxic relationships. I think we still have Nana in the room, Fortune, Emmanuel, Clara, so and some other. I can still see some other names here. So if you're here, okay, we already have some of our winners. We have
Yes.
Fortune, Emmanuel, and Clara are our first two winners for
Yes,
this
please do.
episode. And
Join us live.
yeah, so do I add you live? Fortune, would you like to join us live? Clara, would you like to join us live to share? Just say one or two things on this topic. Maybe an experience you've had or something you like to share with us. Okay. If you like to just let me know and I'll add you, or you can send a request and I'll add you. So going forward, I really love how interactive the session was. Even
Yeah.
when Lillian was here, Lillian was following, and we had okay, yeah, Lillian and Amaka, Chamaka. Okay, yeah, we had very interactive, session this evening, and I'm really, really excited.
Follow us,
So,
follow our handle. Hope you're following at Nessa Nadi and at I
uh,
am Namdi.
of course, for
Just,
you to redeem your gift, I'll definitely send you a message inbox to give you all the handles that you should be following our social media handles. Of course, at Nessa and Nadi, Moments with Vanessa on our YouTube channel and all that. Then for I am Esther, Nadi, Mommy and I, and then the Ladies Let's Talk International. So for this episode, we have two winners at the moment. That's Emmanuel Fortune and Clarence.
Clarence Studio.
Yes. Okay, so we are coming towards the end of our session tonight. So I'd like us to round off. How do we, when someone actually finally realizes that he or she is in a toxic friendship or toxic relationship, I mentioned that it could be same sex. I've been in a friendship where you're striving so hard to please the person. You're working on eggshell not to hurt the person. What I did immediately, I realized that it was out draining me, was that I distanced myself from the friendship. And a friendship that you're not feeding, you're not servicing, automatically or naturally dies. So that is how the friendship pipe low and went on its own. When we see, we are still cordial acquaintances, but the friendship had to go because it was beginning to be toxic. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. What if you discover that you are in a toxic relationship? What do you do? You know, Probably you want to try and see if it can be fixed. And of course, there might be a little chance that it might be fixed, but in most cases, I would say give it distance yourself, except in the cases of marriage. You have to at least make an effort to see if it can be, redeemed. That is in when it comes to marriage. The first thing I would say, I'll just give you just a very, very few points before I hand over to Esther. So if it's a relationship, probably give it some space. If it's a same-sex friendship, give it some space. But if it's marriage, I would say you can actually give it put in some effort to see if you could, redeem it, if you could still make work it out. It could also work in same-sex friendship and relationships. Maybe you could give it a shot and see if it could work. But of course, I'm sure by the time you discover that it's toxic, it must have been draining you emotionally. That is one of the pointers to know that it might be toxic. You're already being drained emotionally. So just as I said, so Madina just joined us. To win our cash gift, just drop your number. Tell us what you're learning so far, what you've been gaining so far in this live session. We'd love to hear from you. Seriously, for those who are still live with us, yeah, for those who are still live with us, tell us something on the comment section. What have you gained so far? And then follow our handles on Instagram, just as we've mentioned. So some of the things I would say is, if the both parties, especially the one who have discovered that he or she might be in a toxic relationship or friendship, if they are willing to sit down and have a conversation. For me, most of the issues people have in relationships and marriage can be solved with communication. That has always been my stance. My close friends know this. My husband knows this. Everyone who has ever been close to me, Vanessa, knows that I've always been a communication person. I've always been like, if communication fails, then you can try other things. I've always believed so much in communication, sitting down to talk. Okay, you've discovered that this thing that your partner does drains you emotionally, is turning towards toxicity. Have you sat down to have an honest conversation with your partner? Telling the person that, see this is what, when you do this, this is how it makes me feel. This is what it does to me. Having an honest conversation about it before you take action. Remember the friendship I said I had to give a distance? I had an honest conversation first. And after having that honest conversation, it still was not getting better. I had to give it space. Okay, Clara is just commented. She said, I've been in a toxic friendship with same sex. I had to let the friendship go because it was a struggle all the time. Of course, that's the point. It was a struggle all the time. I had an honest conversation. I told the person, this is what this is how you make me feel when you do this so thing. And it wasn't getting better. Of course, I had to let it go. So you both have to be willing to talk about it. Tell the person, if it's your partner, if it's your husband, if it's your wife, if it's your friend, tell the person, whenever you do this, this is how it makes me feel. Of course, we've given you a lot of pointers, a lot of red flags. When you move from healthy jealousy to toxic jealousy, tell the person that, don't you think this thing you do might be a little bit, extra? Don't you think this is how you make me feel when you do this? I walk on the edge when you do this. I become scared of you when you do this. Is there any way we can actually work on this together? Just being honest totally, like being vulnerable. I know a lot of people hate being vulnerable, but sometimes once in a while, try it. Just be vulnerable, be totally honest to the person on how you feel about the situation. Okay, Fortune said, I'm on the road. I would have loved to join live. Okay, that's fine, Fortune. We understand. Okay, so I call it both partners willing to communicate in a healthy manner. That is, for me, one of the key ways to actually remedy the situation. So, Esther, what do you have to say?
Okay, like you rightly said, communication is very important. Communication, if it's a relationship between same sex, a guy relating with his fellow guy or a girl relating with his fellow girl, I believe in second chances. So when you bring up the issue of concern and
Yeah,
present, and the person is still not getting it, the person is still feeling, I'm not doing anything wrong. You understand? Take it.
yes, of
So
course.
me, I don't believe in hammering on the same thing more than once.
Over and over and over again.
Get,
Yeah,
get. Once I bring it to your notice that actually I feel this way or this way about this thing, and I communicate it, and I'm still not getting a positive vibe, I withdraw. In fact, my own is not just withdraw, I vanish.
the friendship will go into extinction.
It is a lady to man relationship, that's boy to girl. I don't want to use that word, boy to girl. If
Yeah,
it is a fiancé relationship,
yeah,
and you see some signs, there are actually some signs that will make me run. I'm talking personally now. I won't
yes,
communicate it with you. I'll just take my decision, and that is it.
yes. Especially when you're still trying to choose your life partner. Yeah,
Yes, this is personal to me. Another person can still decide to like discuss it and all that. But within me, I just know that people, a leopard can't change his spots. And people can't change because of you. People change because they are convinced and willing to change.
of course.
Don't change because you are the one initiating the change. I don't believe in turning people to whom they are not. You
Of
understand?
course.
For
Of,
instance, someone that has a narcissistic personality, it's difficult to change him or her, because
exactly.
personality disorder that they have had all their life from childhood. So trying to change that person, the person might at most change within the time frame, to really get you into the relationship, or probably even land the marriage. And a
Yeah.
person will revert back to the,
Original.
yeah. And more
That's true.
about stuffs like that. If it is in a marriage relationship, you already have a vow with this person. So because
Yeah.
of the vow, the covenants, marriage is a covenant. Because of that covenant between you, your spouse, and God, you can give it a try by talking about the same thing over and over again, till you see positive changes.
Of
But
course.
before marriage, Vanessa, if I see certain threats, I run. Because I don't have that patience for issues. You understand?
Yes. Yeah.
It up maybe once, and if I'm not getting any positive vibe, I withdraw. From there, I will vanish, and relationship is no more.
That's
I believe in communication. Communicate with your partner, communicate with your spouse. But then, if you are not yet married to that person, please withdraw. It's just like some people. I just remembered something now. All these guys that maybe they are relating with you, and when they see you discussing with another guy, harmlessly, platonically, you are just having an honest conversation with the guy, and they come on hard to you, and they start requesting for all the gifts they bought for you. Give me the
yeah.
give me your iPhone, give me
Red flag already. It's a red flag
conversation
already.
with that kind of no conversation at all. Just withdraw. Yes, you know,
Exactly.
it will hardly leave the person.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So I just believe that God will help us to know the right thing to do at every point in our lives.
Exactly.
We won't run into error.
Wow, our time is fast spent,
Yeah.
and it's been an amazing session today. I'm so excited, and I love how interactive it was, and I'm so excited at how far we were able to achieve today.
Yeah.
So we've been able to do a good job on this topic. I believe so. So it has to be until second Sunday in the month of April. We'll be bringing your way another interesting topic. So just
Yeah.
as I said, exactly. Just as I said, for me, I'm the convener of Moments with Vanessa. It's a platform that inspires conversations around our emotional and mental well-being. We have a lot of programs. We have the one that hosts every last Saturday of the month on our Facebook group, Winning Through the Battles of the Mind. That one is another mind-blowing program. We have a whole lot of other programs. I would love you to follow us on our social media handles. On Instagram, moments_with_Vanessa. On Facebook, Moments with Vanessa Tribe. That's the Facebook group. Then we have the page, Moments with Vanessa. And of course, we have our YouTube channel, Moments with Vanessa TV. There, we find a lot of educative videos, and I'll still be making new ones where you get to hear wonderful conversations around that emotional and mental well-being. We have our WhatsApp platforms, of which you can get the link on our Facebook group. Once you get into my Facebook group, Moments with Vanessa Tribe, the pinned post on top, you see the link to everything on Moments with Vanessa. I really appreciate it. And for those who won the cash prize today, before you redeem it, of course, I'll send you a message privately. Things that to do before you receive your cash gift. So I would like to hand over to Esther to also share her social media platforms with us too.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Vanessa. Yeah, to our followers, like I said earlier, you can follow us on our Instagram handles. My Instagram handle is I am Esther Namdi. You can just, I think I commented, you can just click on it. Let's connect on Instagram. On Facebook, my Facebook username, Ijoma Esther Namdi. I'm the convener of Ladies Let's Talk International. So on Facebook, once you type Ladies Let's Talk International, it will pop up and you will get to know more about us, about what I do, about the vision of the group on the platform. Also, you can follow my YouTube channel, Mommy and I Media. Mommy and I Media, that's my YouTube channel where I run a whole lot of teachings on relationship, marriage, issues that have to do with mothers and babies, anything womanhood. So I hope to see each and every one of you. You can also connect to our official page, Mommy and I, on Instagram. Mommy, Mommy and underscore I. Yes, so you can connect with us on our social media platforms so you can stay put and enjoy our programs that comes on your way once in a while.
Okay, on this note, okay, Fortune is saying thank you so much. We appreciate. Thank you for even staying till the end. I appreciate Fortune, everyone that is still present.
Yeah,
Fortune, Clarice, we
we
run the ball.
know us.
Nana, Lillian, Amaka.
Yeah.
We have so many people who joined us on this live session. Favy, we appreciate every single person, and so many other people. I can't find their chats right now. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
on
you.
this live session. So see you all again on the second Sunday of April. Of course, when you see the flyers, help us to publicize to have more people to join
And
us as we have conversations around our relationship and marriage. What did you say?
no, I'm encouraging them to share our flyers to their friends so they
Of
can.
course,
Yes.
of course, because these conversations needs to be had, you know, to help people make the right decision in their
Yeah.
friendships, their relationships, and marriage. So until next time, until the second Sunday of April, I and Esther are saying, have a blessed evening. And happy Mother's Day for the mothers that joined us today. And
Yeah.
happy Mother's Day. All right. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.